and the chaos reign. Now, this is part 2, and this is titled The Real Truth About the Black Manosphere. And this was a continuation of part 1, titled Open Conversation, Let's Talk About Black People. And always, this is broadcast January 19th, 2020. So listen good and enjoy.
To this other piece I'm about to now talk about. And now, if anybody can press 1 right now, I'm opening lines. Big J, if you're there, please press 1. This thing about, and I'm being that honest, because I did a stream on this, as y'all know, last year, months ago, about the Manosphere. And one thing I always find interesting, now that if Big J comes back, to understand the real history of this, and he's been talking about this always on T.R.S, and we don't really listen, but from hearing from him going back and forth with people that were part of this so-called Manosphere, and the biggest question should be asked, they can articulate and give you an answer of what they're trying to build, what they're trying to accomplish, really accomplish with this. Now, I sit back like any spectator and see, brothers congregating, and they have issues pretty much with the women of our community, and feel that the women have to change for them to be a man and conduct and do what's necessary. But when I find out with these non-black people, especially non-black males, they're really not really talking about what the women could do for them and all this stuff. They're talking about doing things that will protect men. And mind you, I don't listen to these non-black spaces. When I mean by non-black, I mean Europeans, Jewish, Italians, white Hispanics, all of them. When they come together, they always come in the purpose of dealing with the more bigger issue. But when I come across black males that, quote-unquote, said they're master or labeled black master, I don't hear these same discussions these non-blacks are discussing. So, let me see.
It's Big J here.
All right, so now that I have Big J here, and Big J, I'm on my computer right now. You were saying something about a white man saying some talking points that these Negroes are talking about in the Master. What's his name?
The guy goes by the name of Lee Atwater.
Is there a recording that I could pull up right now to hear this dude talk? Or is
there's only one recording where he's talking about the word nigger, not to use the word nigger in elections.
Okay.
If you research Lee Atwater's early career during Ronald Reagan's first presidential run in 1976, and yes, I know people say, well, he became president in 1980. No, he first ran in 76 and lost to Gerald Ford.
And I think who was the president? I think it was let me think. Don't tell me. Carter went full 8 terms, right?
Carter won the election of 76. Reagan ran in the primaries against Gerald Ford, but lost against Gerald Ford. But anyway, Reagan's campaign manager goes by the name of Lee Atwater. Lee Atwater created the myth of the welfare queen. And if you look at and the reason why I'm assuming you have me on here because of what happened earlier today.
We go with that and a little bit more, because now we gotta really tie this in now, because we all know you're a critic and you have your opinions on a lot of movements, and that's fine. But when the big question asks, besides what one sector is doing, and these brothers have been dealing with this sector for much longer than 5 years. I thought it was just 5 years since YouTube, when they first started come up with this thing called a Black Manosphere back in 2015, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah. But like the origins of the Black Manosphere extended longer than when that name. It was called something else before they called it the Black Manosphere. It was called something else. But anyway, it's been like over 5 years at least.
Okay. Yeah. But now let's go back a little further. Let's say in 2006, because you said a total 13 years. Well, actually, probably longer now, because now we're in New Year's, so it should be 14 years.
Right.
Yeah. So now 14 years since these brothers were entertaining these spaces that's controlled by non-blacks, Europeans, actually, Italian, Jews and stuff, that created what they call a blog. Some that men discuss and write their issues on a blog.
Right. There's a thing called the Voice for Men, and that's where the leadership of the Black Manosphere came from. They used to write articles for it. That's what and some of them they could not write over there because the white boys told them, look, I'm not talking about white women. You're not talking about black women. We're just talking about women. But they wanted to talk about black women so bad that the white boys kicked them out. And that's what old boy did not want me to expose that. They knew I knew all this shit. So that's why they created their own little clique called the Black Manosphere. Now like the talking point that I've been hearing, if you look at Lee Atwater's speeches that Lee Atwater write for Ronald Reagan about the welfare queen, and a welfare queen was like a code word for black women on welfare with all them bastard kids. That is a code word, the welfare queen. So if you pay attention to these men on YouTube spewing out their rhetoric, look what they say, and listen to what Lee Atwater say. It mimics. It mimics one mimics the other.
I see a transcript and I see what did Lee Atwater really said. Power line. I'm not sure if this is the script. Let me click one. Let me see if I can find stuff that is written down. All right. This is gonna be very tricky. It's called the Boogeyman. No, I think that's it. Let me go back. Matt, keep talking. I'll see if I can.
Oh, I mean, if you look at some of these speeches, that Lee Atwater write for President Reagan and the first President Bush, you see parallels and talking points that means black men are expounding on social media. And they don't want to admit that, but they are repeating a talking point from a dead white man. I mean, it's comical, but yet they want to be black first, but they want to be pro-black and whatever and all that shit. But wait a minute, you are repeating a talking point from a racist dead white man. I find that comical, and that's why I told him, look, you're gonna have to do some intellectual heavy lifting. You're gonna have to do that because the words that come out, they don't want, they want to be respected, but then they use words that are disrespectful to other people. It makes no sense.
Okay. And I'm not sure if the other brother, I'm talking about besides the old man that was part of the those circles writing for the paper, and the other top heads from what's his name, O'Shea. I'm talking about the three people. I'm not sure if the other dude was part of that writing for.
You talking about BGS and Anchorman.
All of them. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and like I said, this was already clear in the rules, and these brothers go over the rules, and by default, they were booted out. Now, mind you, the old man did say that you were a detective. And I people didn't pick that up, say, so what you did say was actually true, because he didn't want to admit it, but did not want to deny it either.
Right.
So it seemed to me that before you said that Black Manosphere and they branch off, you were forced to branch off. You were looking for acceptance from the other side. And you're still looking for acceptance from the side, from the other side.
Well, in a way, look, the way I see it is the white guys could not, the white guys could not, the white guys handcuffing them because they want to exclusively talk about African American women, but since they couldn't, since the rules were you can't discuss race, you can't talk about black women exclusively. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you can't be on that website. So that's why they branched off to themselves, so they could talk about disrespecting black women, talking about their hair weave and this and the third, and they don't want to admit that, but that's what they actually did. That was the reason why I creating the Manosphere in the first. Well, one of the reasons I should say of creating.
Mm-hmm. 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 And it's going much more than just talking bad about the sisters. This is just a constant attack where it's that they just want to be heard, and for their, I guess, understand to be heard, you gotta, shit on your own, especially the opposite sex, just to get a sense of a notice. And I'm hearing a lot of these dudes talking about, well, the sister's been doing this for decades. I get it. I mean, I could probably go back to some of the TV shows that I remember probably watched that might have had that I didn't probably understand back then. But now that I'm thinking say, the people that really run that thing say they gave those women a platform to spill that, and probably was paid to spill that for all we know. Because think about it. If somebody's paying your bills, you're not going to say, and integrity say, I'm not going to do this. And no one said, if you're not going to do this, you're going to get fired. So obviously, at the end of the day, whether it's their free will or not, some of these women, by default, they going to probably choose that paycheck because of the times, And think about it. They just don't pick anybody to be on their broadcast. They pick the ones, because they see, once you understand this, your so-called competitor selects people very closely to have on his stuff. If he finds remnants that you have a certain pride and respect for yourself, he's not going to hire you. We all know this. Because for him to implement certain things, you got to show a certain level of this hate for yourself and the love of him, in a way. Which a lot of people don't know when they select these people that put in, TV shows and all that stuff. Hell, look at what they call Lonnie Love, when she made that stupid statement, right? You think they're going to put any sister up there? No, these people are selected very closely. So when they spew it out and say things, either paid or not, it's all justifiable to keep the vibe going.
It's like this, Gary. It's like this, Gary. They take a statement from Lonnie Love, and then they use her as a tool, or should I say a whipping post for all black women. They take one woman and use her as an example for all, and that's an unfair comparison. And it's some of the things that they talk about how the black women destroyed the black community. No, The problem with the women is a symptom, not the cause. The real cause of it was the miseducation of boys, and also the economics that had made a lot of black men unemployed. Though or black people in general unemployed back in the 70s with the gold shock and the drug war, the gold shock of 71 and the war on drugs that happened in 1970. Those two things right there is the leading cause of the destruction of urban America. But they don't want to identify with that because like they're focused on the symptom. The symptom is the woman versus the man, rather than looking at the systematic destruction of the goods and services that's supposed to benefit them, such as education, such as them attaining meaningful employment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why though they don't, the thing is though they are not focused on the right things. The reason why though, part of the reason why though men and women in the black community are not getting married or having relationships is because young boys, from kindergarten on up, is not being educated, and education is linked in some cases. Education is linked to economics. So there is no romance. There is no romance without no finance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is no romance without no finance. So therefore, though, if you're getting ADHD medication to old boy who's 6 years old, what good is he when he turns 18, 19, and 20? He won't be good enough to whatever mate he has. Now I see somebody in the chat room by the name of ABC. He's lying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, didn't Big J used to be on the I Hate Black Women team? I find a video of me saying about black women. There's not a video me talking about black women in general. Never have. So you can miss me with that, ABC, and I got videos to back it up. So do not lie on me again, dude. Say that right up front.
Don't worry, ABC. If ABC has something serious, he can call in. It's a call show. You see the number. But okay, so now that we understand that, one of the things that you were going back and forth with one dude that was part of Manosphere, and when you try to explain this, and this is what I have a problem with a lot of brothers, and this is the same thing that happened when Serena tried to explain this to the same brothers. They don't get it. That said, it's something much more deeper than your relationship to your woman that's causing a problem. If every time when we go to the source, all of a sudden the black man has a sense of amnesia. He has something where he just lose memory very quickly. Or he said, what you said? I didn't get what you said. Like the brain just shut down. Once you start putting out the actual real facts, what's going on. And I find that very odd. And the funny thing, a lot of them talking about say about this family thing, and family is good, but if you're not economically stable, no matter what you bring, your family is going to hold as strong as you can without the economics. And if we don't deal with the stupid data, they say on the average, it's not infidelity you have to worry about in regards of marriage. It's always, can you maintain a stable household money-wise, financially? Who's going to pay the bills? These are things that we don't talk about. It's whether the policy or money black people are afraid of. It goes over the head. And it also goes ahead from older elders that's been in the circle for a long time. You get me? So, really, truly, that when you talk about, okay, since y'all started this movement for now over 5 years, and probably longer, but let's say on the internet, YouTube now for 5 years, going on 5 years, what accomplishment, what are you trying to get out of this? And so what are you trying to build? What it's going to do to better black men? I hear crickets when really asked the serious question. Is really black men trying to be something or trying to say they're going to do something but not putting no work? It's more like when I hear these dudes now, it's more about escapism. That's why when you told me about that thing with the those other non-blacks on the other publication when they ran them off, they said that we deal with the policies and things that really hurt us. We don't worry about women because women are a product of the environment. How the hell the non-black person, the Italian, the Chinese, the white man, whatever you want to call it, knows this? But when it comes to Negroes, it goes over their head.
I think because I think though because of people, I think black men especially has lost their. I mean as a collective has lost their way in. They lost their funk. I'll tell you like that. I just put it like that. Mm-hmm. They lost their groove. They lost their funk. They lost their moral setting. When it concerns about fixing problems, and the thing is though we don't want I'll just say though we lost our confidence in the world. I'll put it as African American men has lost their confidence in the world in solving their own problems, and that goes back to I mean like the sense of feeling powerlessness. They don't know what they don't know how to fix the problem because they think though by telling the women to change, and it's like what I told them. Look, how are you going to tell black women to change when you live in an integrated society? If you're going to tell that black woman to change, you're going to have to tell that white woman beside her ass to change too. And what I said earlier this morning, and what I said this afternoon on Renaissance Woman's channel, that flew right over their heads. It flew right over their heads, and the OCD is just dumbfounded. Don't understand what the hell he's talking about. But some of this is just to make money. At this point, it's all just a money thing, and it's ruining, it's brainwashing the next generation, and that's why I'm fighting them hard on this. That's why I came hard on old man because I'm looking at these 20-year-olds coming over here repeating, regurgitating
the same talking
point from a dead white man, and it's getting sad.
Yeah, regurgitation and sitting on their loins and not taking no action. Because what people forgot to say, when men are organized, you get things done. And since these men have created this so-called movement, hashtag we don't call it, when I really think about now, that say, even when I talked about this months ago last year about the so-called Manosphere, and how now what they do now is they create more propaganda to put you as a hate speech and all this. And some people say, well, that's talking about the white. No, they talk about anybody that is a manosphere. They don't give a crap about this black, white, blue, pink. Once they put it on article throughout the internet, and think about this. I know most people read the 48 Laws of Power. That's good. But I know in that same book they tell you how power really works. And I know what the press is doing right now. He's using the same tactics that's going to put a mark on you. That's either organized or not really organized for what you're trying to do and put you out as the enemy for everybody to see. And once people get the win of it, it's a problem. And these dudes don't want to really take like things politically to push back on the propaganda that's been put out here. Some people say, oh, that's a white man's job. But you take part of it for the last decade. You in their blogs. You separate yourself because you're black. No, matter they'll target you more because that's who they want. Before they go after the white man first. They go after your ass first. They go after the small targets, then they go after the big ones. Am I right?
Well, I'll say it like this. Yeah, in a way, yes. In a way, yeah. They will go after the. I mean, when the Root.com put out that article out about 2 years ago, talking about that black men are the white people of the black community, which was a dumbass article, by the way. That article even pissed me off reading it. But you know, it kind of prove a point to a certain extent that they're regurgitating talking points.
Yeah. And the talking points is just now too similar now to the point where you're having dudes, like you said, coming into the space, really regurgitating. I mean, you said some people that put in content now, and they use it towards black women, saying, you're this and that. And I'm saying, well, ain't this funny? This was all European that said this over now 29 years ago. And you regurgitate the same thing, and you believe it. So you take it as gospel. So, mind you, Big J, these are men that told me and harped on me that they were thinking black men. But I always say, how are you thinking? And everything your thought is from the mind of the same person that's putting the foot in your neck. You're not thinking. You can't think out of the problems that you could easily solve if we organize to deal with the policy issues that hurts not only us men, but just hurt men in general. They don't want to talk. They don't want to do that. And it makes me feel
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that right there, though, kills me. You call yourself now. Even though I'm sympathetic to them, right? Even though I have some empathy to them. Having said that, even though I have some empathy I have some empathy for them, but they're so dead wrong on this. Call themselves the thinking black man. Wait a minute. How can you call yourself the thinking black man when you are regurgitating a racist, dead white man? That's number one. Number two, you're talking about, I got to travel to get away from, America is Babylon. Therefore, I have to travel to a Caribbean island or to Latin America or to Eastern Europe or to Africa to get me some pussy. And I'm like, wait a minute. How come America is Babylon? You're trying to get away from Babylonian women, but yet you're doing Babylonian shit to these foreign women. And but yet you call yourself the thinking black man. Now, that makes absolutely no sense, because therefore, though, you're not thinking at all. If you're trying to escape from Babylon and Babylonian women, then why are you doing Babylonian shit with foreign women? The concept is just dumb. No intellectual heavy lifting is doing it. It's like if somebody is minoring in the majors and majoring in the minors. My God, man, you are ass backwards in your logic. I mean, seriously. So it's getting sad when I hear these so-called black men who call themselves the thinking black man doing the most dumbest shit. And I'm gonna say something too, though. What happened this afternoon was actually embarrassing, Gary. Yeah. That was embarrassing. Remember when Q Butter came up with that 10-step plan?
Yeah.
Black America.
Yeah.
And then the I-ass Obsidian and Taz. Shout out to Taz, though, by the way. When Taz asked Obsidian, where is y'all's ideas at? You heard crickets. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all. That was embarrassing. I felt embarrassed for them. I actually feel embarrassed for them during that whole debate. I wouldn't call it a debate, but I just put it mildly. It was a debate, and I was enjoyed that I took part in that shit, because I got a lot of shit off my chest, because them old Negroes have been avoiding me for months, but yeah, How can you call yourself a thinking black man and then though you have not produced a political platform or a social platform that is been beneficial to black men, that not producing anything of substance.
Yeah.
If somebody gonna sit there and say, "Well, Big J, you heard about Lee Atwater?" Negro, I studied political science. All right, I'm in political science when I was in college. So I know who Lee Atwater was. All right, I know how the Reagan Revolution started. I know where Ronald Reagan started his campaign at. He didn't start his campaign in California, my nigga. He started his campaign in the same town that MLK got his head split in. All right, so you can miss me with that ABC. Stop trolling in the chat room, because I'm giving you some history lessons. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, so like I said before, and mind you, in regards to the pro-black B1 sector, there are some people doing something. I think Cuba lay out a plan which is good and probably implement now. I mean, that's a start. So I can't knock it. We probably will expect more. Only time will tell. But really, what is proven is a lot of people that say they're in certain space, they put them on a radar and put them on set to show and prove. Because you're always concerned what's going on this side. But yet again, this organization, or what we call the click circle, that's been around for over 5 years. And think about this. I remember when, what's his name? Was it Shea? When they were asking about a convention. They have not even put out their own convention yet. So that's what I asked him. Wait a minute, you've been here for 10 years. Where is a convention at? Mm-hmm.
I mean, the white boys in the Asian boys, they have a big ass convention, and they was inviting. And guess what? They was inviting the black men to come over. The black men said no. So I'm just trying to figure that out. Okay, what is y'all game plan? Just sit there and complain about women and not fix your own damn shit?
No, they're not in the business of fixing anything.
Right.
They're fitting the bill for the next man to deal with the problem. And if the person is taking that step, they might go as far as destroy it. And I'm convinced they probably would. Because think about it, if you're in it just to make money, you're not really concerned about really fixing the issue or black issue. Because other race people, especially men, when there's issue amongst their community, they take arms and say, we got to correct this. They don't mess around. But when it comes to the black man, it's always, you hear like, I can't do this. You hear a lot of excuses. Even go as far as some of y'all just really just like women. You talk so much, you almost act like women. If one want to keep 100. So okay, you can't screw certain coochie. I get it. All right. Well, as a man, you have to do what possible to better yourself for the next one. You don't sit there harp on what you can't get. You try to put yourself in position. Women are attracted when a man is not only put in position, but is confident, at least. These are the few things that women see, last time I checked. And if a woman doesn't really be on your program, like everything you don't deal with, you move on to the next one. Why is it so hard, Big J? Especially when it comes to our sisters. So it seems to me like if this is the women that the brothers complain about, and these are small things, that it seems to me you take a lot of crap from the opposite sex and you're complacent. So you hoping that if you go over here, she's going to get on her knees and grovel and submit to your will. And no one's saying the environment you're in, your position, you're not in no position to give no demand. Walking out your marriage to go find other women, that's not even demand. Because think about it, other race women, they're getting the comfort over the black man's back in this country. And that's been revealed by another YouTuber. That we are paying the bill with a lot of these other race people. That's why they can feel feminine. Some of these women, especially coming to this country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So really, at the end of the day, these dudes are not going to do squats, crap, and they know this. So what they do, they go to the least resistance. That's why when I mention about, it's not just our society concern if you're not fixing problems, but you're going to deal with other race women. Did you know they fought me with that? Big J, they said, no, it's not. I mean, goddamn. Y'all saying that y'all don't cape for other women, but y'all look like y'all cape for other races of women. Do they know that when these other races see most black men, and if you hear discussions with them, being with us, if we want to keep 100, is a down for them. If we want to keep it 100. That's why they don't seem so real. The only time they'll entertain us is when they want to fulfill certain fantasies, most likely. And depending if they're like the outcast of the community, then obviously they're going to have to settle with black men. But other than that, you're not going to see Becky, La Raza, Laying, look for black men or make videos say, I love black. You're not going to find it. Hell, you're not going to find it in this YouTube space right now in the chat room. They're not checking for black men, Big J, like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that if they mess with us, it's a wrap. And that's hard for a lot of black men to sink in their head. And it's sad. I don't want to say that, but I'm going to keep it real, that when it comes to us, it's not a good sight. And some of them go as far as that they don't mind, and hear this, Big J, they don't mind that the only thing black men is good for is something when we fucking them. A lot of black men are comfortable with that. Can you imagine that?
Right. And, it's like that conversation the other day, right? It's like that conversation we had. It's like that conversation we had the other day on Ren, right? Mm-hmm. And Ren was sitting there talking, and we were supposed to be talking about human to human relations and how society is supposed to be working, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of talking about human relations between how society works and all that, they downgrade the conversation solely about sex. And I'm sitting there like, okay, look, if you are playing into your own stereotype, and here's what I'm talking about. How can you complain about white supremacy and you're doing the stereotypical you're mimicking the stereotypes that white supremacists would put on you, such as being hypersexual, but every word has to do with a woman's vagina or sex. Instead of addressing the actual issue, they keep on wanting to go down to this path, and I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. Y'all realize that you are being who you
all
hate.
Facts. Mute your line. You got background noise. All facts. Mute your line, please. Thank you, sir. Continue.
That you are being who you hate by facilitating the stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Black men are hypersexual. Black men are emotional. Black men are this, that, and the third. Or black men are uneducated, right? Then why, if you call yourself a thinking black man, then therefore, though, there's certain things, though, you shouldn't be doing. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things, though, you shouldn't be saying. There's certain things, though, you shouldn't be doing. Hey, shout out to Penny Sparks in the chat room, by the way, and shout out to the Neutral Zone in the chat room, by the way. And, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to back away. I noticed some of the B1 network folks are in the chat room, I imagine. So anyway, I'm going to hang on back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Penny, you can call in if you choose, sweetie. All right, All Facts. If you're there, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm done.
No. All Facts. How you doing, All Facts?
What's going on, Gary? How you doing? Pretty good.
I'm good.
Pretty good. Well, first of all, I'd like to challenge everyone to go to talkrealsolutions.com and join the contest. We're giving away a prize of $325. Only thing you have to do to win the prize is spend a minimum of $500 with 5 or more black-owned businesses between now and February 29th, 2020. And it's $325 right now, and the person who gets the most money, over $500, will win that prize. The prize will be announced March 4th, 2020 on Talk Real Solutions at 9 o'clock. And that's on the Wednesdays, guys. So I encourage everyone just to go and participate. But Gary, listen, listen, man, this is something. I think you heard me in a conversation over Mari's show, and the guy made a statement, says that men create the societies. And I said, young man, why did you just make that statement? And after I discussed it, he reconsidered what he was saying, because it just doesn't work.
You talking about All Facts?
When we were over Amari's show. You remember we was at Amari's show having that?
Amar, what's his name? Let me find his name.
That live.
Ramiro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramiro. Yeah, what about him?
Right, exactly. And listen, I told him, I said, listen, man, if a woman doesn't want to date me because I don't have a car, I cannot come on YouTube and whine and moan and groan that she doesn't want to date me because I don't have a car. And women are disgusting, and this is the problem, and I'll never get married, and we. No, that particular woman is not for me at this present time in my life, because she wants a man with a car. She's not compatible with him. What is the drama, guy? What's going on? I don't understand this stuff. This is basic stuff. People are making arguments just to have conversation. This is elementary things, bro. And one last, I was talking to the Soul Brother over there, and me and him had a discussion. And these grown men, listen to me, these grown men are going around for years defining what a patriarch is, right?
Yeah.
A patriarch. I asked them, I said, what is a patriarch? They could not give me a clear picture of what a patriarch is. They told me, they said, so I'm going to make a long story short, and I'm going to fall back, and I'm going to let you go.
No,
I just want to get this clear real quick. Real quick. They say, right. They say this. They say, well, look at the royal family. He said, that's a patriarch society. That's how it's called, kings and queens, and that's a patriarch society. The man is the family. They say when a king dies, and he has to leave his property or his leadership to one of his children, and his children is a daughter, she becomes a queen. If she marries a man, that man does not become king, right? That's what they say. I said, okay. He said, because you just can't do it that way. I said, fine. I said, are you telling me that if a woman rules a kingdom, that kingdom is still a patriarchal society or patriarchal kingdom? They said yes. So I said, okay, fine. So you're telling me that a woman can rule men in a patriarchal society? They said no. I said, what are you telling me? I said, guys, you giving me the examples of the kings and queens. I said, tell me what a patriarchal society is. And I said the clear definition that I thought is that the man is the ruler, is the dictator of what say goes in that society. They have a last say. Everything is basically designed by the man. The woman has a submit role in it. And they couldn't even define what it is. So brother comes on, he gets all upset. And he says, I'm defiant. I said, man, that's what you're telling me. He's telling me that a woman can't rule men and it be a patriarchal society. But if it's a queen and she rules men, it's a patriarchal society, which is a contradiction, man. So basically what I gave y'all that story for is people who are confused out here, to each his own, how you and your woman want to have your relationship. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be in that bed with that person. And at the end of the day, nobody can tell you who to be in the bed with. But that's all I got to say, man. It's not even that complex, bro. I'll fall back, man.
Think about this, all facts. Even the discussion, we have, is more than I'm talking about these cats, but men like, or dudes like him, right? And I told my good friend Amir that because he has a sense in his own intelligence and he is well read, that having these frivolous debates with specimens like this is beneath him because they're not well read. They don't have a conceptual definition of what is actual patriarchy. What is the history of patriarchy? They go by what they watch on motherfucking TV. I'm saying, Ross, their concept of reality is what they see through TV. Why is this not well read? They never pick up a book at night. Hell, they don't got their own little bookshelf of library of certain information besides they Google stuff, because Google's easy now. You can do that now. But let's say have a physical copy of a book, something old. You could attain. Or trying to get an understanding of certain things, historic-wise. They don't do that. You know why, all facts? Because a lot of people said that's all in the past. It's that people got said in time frames, we have a past, a present, and what forthcome we call the future. Nothing's new. Everything happens from the past that plays to your present and will plague and might hinder you in the future. And I can learn that in school because they only train you to a point to think very, what's the word, linear? I don't know if I'm right to say that. This society is trained to be dumb, all facts. And the dumber you are, the better you can get swindled and fooled and be used as cattle to the people that are pushing the strings, are moving the strings of the puppet.
Yeah, and you guys were talking about that love lady, the statement that she made about black men. And I'm killing the same black men who gets online and talk bad about black women. They are the ones who's crying and getting upset saying she's the problem. See, if you cannot take it, don't dish it. See, black men can say a lot of things about black women. Black women have their ammunition also. It's part of the relationships. It's a part of the relationship. God damn it, I mean, guess what? I mean, if a relationship between a man and a woman ends, the man and the woman can blame each other on the relationship's end. I mean, just listen to the relationships. Have you ever been in a relationship with a woman? Oh, well, why did you break up? Oh, you wasn't ready. He was playing games. Oh, she kept on getting on my nerves. He wouldn't call me. I kept calling, so I'm not going to be dealing with it. He lies too much. Oh, man, she always takes her family side over my side. Come on, man. What? So, that's just how it goes, bro.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But like I said, we're living right now, all facts, in a pump and dump culture. As much as I don't want to admit it, but if a lot of women are listening to this broadcast, that's where we are. So the dudes that you're dealing with now are only thinking of just pumping and maybe possibly dumping. They're not thinking anything further than that, no matter what age. I would normally say men that's not in their 30s don't date like this, but you find men now that's in their late 40s and hell 50s in this behavior. So no matter
the less educated is making our population grow, though, guys. The less educated, the ones who don't have... Right, the ones who don't have the internet, the pornographic movies, they're having sex old-time way, and their pleasure is sex, and they're having a lot of babies. The people with the technology, they're having less babies, and Big J is right with the millennials. They think babies and pacify is ill, that's nasty. I want my games. I want my internet. That is my lover. Let's be real. This is a new age, and the mind is changing. No, we're laughing. Let's get real with this shit.
Okay.
The time that we take out on these internet and our instruments used to be the time we were looking for women. Guys used to be playing, talking with women here and there, blase this and blase that, especially in your younger days. My God, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, my goodness. Oh, I didn't have no internet, but goddamn, I was running them down the streets. I'm going to be honest.
Yep.
Goddamn, that was what's entertainment. Entertainment sitting up in the house now. It's different. 20 years old person my age, black African American, they got many options. They can get cooped up in a hop and their mind can be entertained like I don't know what. So, that's just how it is, man. It's changing our minds, changing our relationships. And I'm just saying, people that don't have these devices, they're going to have more children versus the people who have technology. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I
guarantee you. Because you're on the faster paced moves. Right. So the poor and the less fortunate is not going to be having, because that's what they have to do. So, that's something to tell. How it's going to turn out, we don't know. But it does affect our relationships, man. It really does. If you meet a girl now, you tell her on social media, she give her an account, she can know more about you than back then. She know what you said about 5 years ago, or who you was dealing with 2 years ago. Just giving you a Facebook page. Facebook can get involved in your relationships. Do you and your girl, are y'all Facebook friends? Do you want to know her friends she has on Facebook, who she's talking to and things of that nature? Does she want to say, let's be friends? Why do me and you have to be friends on Facebook when we're in each other's lives? Why is it? I don't know. Some people may be prying. If someone is cheating, you say, okay, why don't you want me to be my friend? Because you got a lot of girls on Facebook? What's going on? I don't know. What I'm saying is that's a whole nother conversation. We didn't have that conversation 25, 30 years ago. Relationships have changed. Shit. So it's something out here, man. People want everything fast-paced. Everybody wants everything right now. Self-gratification. And the internet can give that to you.
Yeah.
Especially with the webcam. Them goddamn webcams. Self-gratification, quick, instantaneously. Go ahead.
I said, really think about it is, damn, I'm trying to think what I was saying. It's easier now, and people are more what we call antisocial with the help of technology now. And that's what we're going to breed now. One time, I remember you had to get up and move and do certain things, and now, because it's right there, you don't have to really do much but sit on your ass and, interact with the world. And the problem I have with antisocial, because this is what the internet does, and I did a stream on my channel on this, on one particular European that talks about social media disease. I might drop the link for those who want to watch it. But he said it best the same way, that this was what's going to happen to people, society, once the internet starts to take full circle after a decade, since they start popping in the early 90s. When they start.
If a person doesn't have a cell phone in their name or their own cell phone, people will say, God damn, they're struggling in their lives. That's how technology is. Imagine asking someone, hey, you know what time it is? They look at you like it's crazy. Hey, imagine you at a new town. Can you tell me where such and such it is around here? Stopping someone back in the day. Hey, can you tell me where I'm lost? I'm looking for that. They look at you like you're crazy now. Like, what? Why are you asking me that? They look at you like you're a fool now. The antisocial behavior comes with technology because they say you should have a cell phone in your hand. You should be able to use your GPS, and you should be able to have a time on your cell phone. We have to be in sync with our times because we talk about timestamps. That's for security. When things, transactions, go on the internet, timestamps are very, very, very vital, important. So they say, hey, man, you got the time. Ask somebody, hey, man, you know what time it is, man? Come on. People look at you crazy nowadays, so it has changed. And this information and stuff. But I don't think it can maybe, listen, there's a trade-off in a lot of things, Gary, with this technology. Technology is that they're going to bring people together. everyone is going to connect, and we're going to be able to know how each other's, our minds, our thoughts. We're going to have information, and we're going to have misinformation out here. There's a lot of misinformation out here. But we're going to bring each other together. But actually, they may be bringing us apart as far as hugging each other, talking to each other's face, going to each other's house on a daily basis. We were just running and rescue to our goddamn computers for refuge. For refuge, things of that nature. It's something that we're going to have to deal with, bro. It's something that we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, that's why I see moving forward that this is the thing. I'm just going to drop it here for people to see it. Yeah, but that's the consequence of the technology. That's what's going to happen, you know. And now when we come to the issues, even let's say about this thing with the word incel, and I talked about this on my channel about the incel situation and all that stuff, and what it could potentially be or could lead down the line. But it goes back again, if you are creating a society to be less interactive with the help of technology, what do you think is going to happen? You know?
No. It may be dividing us, Gary, instead of bringing us all apart, though. It may really be dividing us instead. Yeah. Not just on male and female relationships. Not, you know, I don't know, we think we're connected, but not being connected as far as a touchy-feely as we used to do. But as far as politically, it's supposed, I mean, God damn, the internet back then, we talk about civil rights, Martin Luther King, imagine it, they would have been probably more togetherness, but it's a lot of division. And you can build your own fraction on the inner line. I'm sorry, on the online, you can build your own fraction. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow that the protests in Virginia about the guns and things, with the internet, they can have a large crowd. So we got to watch out for that tomorrow on the eve of this impeachment hearing too. A lot of white supremacists are supposed to go down at the gun rally in Virginia. Did you hear about that?
No, I don't really watch much TV, so.
Yeah. They supposed to have a KKK rally down in Virginia on Martin Luther King Day for gun rights and things of that nature. Near the D.C. area, Northern Virginia. So, you got to watch out for that, man. All right, then, brother. Nice talking to you, man. I just wanted to give you a shout out, man. That's it. I'm going to fall back.
Thank you again. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you, brother. All right.
Yep. All right, everybody. This will conclude tonight's broadcast. I would like to thank everybody for listening to tonight's stream. Please go back to the replay of the stream. Contribute to the show. And, thanks for listening. Until next time, take care. Good night.
And this concludes part 2 of Open Conversation. Let's talk about black people. And this is titled The Truth About the Black Manosphere. Like always, comment, subscribe, and like this video. And follow me on Twitter at Chaos